Yo, yo, yo. And a whole bunch of gifts. What's up, everybody? If y'all can't tell, not only am I loaded up on caffeine here, let me get rid of that graphic so it doesn't look too janky. But if you haven't found out already by me screaming in your ear with those horrible notes, I'm jacked up on caffeine. But I'm excited. Why am I excited? Because today marks several things. First and foremost, it marks the beginning of the end of my wife being at home. It is the beginning. This is her final week here with me, and I love her so, but she's got to go. So she's going back to work. I can do my work in peace. And then when I'm done with my work, I can kick it with y'all in peace and not be disturbed, and not have her busting through the door while I'm live on air and asking me to taste macaroni and cheese while I'm live on, crazy stuff like that. So that's going to come to an end. This is the final week. This also kicks off the return of a consistent schedule. All right. And what do I mean by a consistent schedule? Because you guys have been very patient. You guys and gals have been very, very patient. And I thank you so much for your patience. But I know since my wife originally got sick, I haven't been able to work a consistent schedule where you guys know you're going to get this every week or this at that time. We've been kind of all over the place. Well, we're starting to get back to that realm of consistency, because consistency is key, right? So it's going to be the return of SSC podcast now on Wednesdays. We're going to have sound off on Mondays. This Monday was a holiday, so please forgive me, but I had to spend time with my family. But yeah, so the return of sound off back on Mondays. Tuesdays will be this SLS featured MM2K. Wednesdays will be SSC podcast. SSC podcast comes back from summer break. Last but certainly not least, what's starting to become like a fan favorite, man. You guys love that, especially the members edition. We're going to be coming back with weekly updates. Went from Saturday update to weekend update to now weekly update show that I host with good friend Daryl Smock Jr. Man, we had a hell of a show this past week, man. Just addressing some core things, some stuff we can talk about here too. But yeah, man, hell of a show. I loved it. And that show is going to be airing on Fridays. We're going to be recording that on Fridays with our members, right? And here's what happens after we record that with our members. After we record it with our members, we upload the public version that's going to air on Sundays. And in that public version, man, you guys are going to get some cool stuff. You're going to get a good show, but in that members version, you guys get a hell of a podcast. This past week, we talk about anything, and we talk about anything on the member show, but sometimes our member section be just as good, if not better, than the main daggone show. You know what I'm saying? There's crazy stuff going on here. So not only do we have that happening, where there's a consistent schedule, but the biggest thing, and the biggest and brightest thing right here, and don't let it look, we're pivoting from negativity. There are people and entities that are mad that you like Stadia, and they want to make you feel like you're far and few between. Like if you looked at the positivity of the platform for those, and then you look at the negativity, there are people that reasonably, and I get it, because there's different types of gamers. I've been gaming for 35 plus years. I understand this. Some of the younger folks out here, they don't get this, and they think too hive-minded. They think like everybody's processed off of a conveyor belt, right? I grew up going to arcades, coming out of the arcade, seeing the tabletop people playing Dungeons and Dragons or whatever the hell they were playing out there. I didn't kick over the table. What the hell is this? You're supposed to be in the arcade with me. No, we appreciated all gamers. So I get this. Also in the early 2000s, I'm telling my age here, me and my brother, we just had serious drinking problems and too much time on our hands when we got off of work. So we just came up with this genius idea that we thought that Microsoft's System Link for the OG Xbox, we thought that was the most awesome thing ever. And we thought that because it's so awesome, everybody should use it. So we were ignorant to the fact. We were like, why, Microsoft, why aren't you pushing this? And Microsoft we got as far as we could to, which was really low level, to some Microsoft Xbox people rather. And they said, look, we're a new platform. Even though you think this is cool, other developers don't want to do it because PlayStation ain't got it. And PlayStation is beating us 85-1. Not really. I'm just, throwing that out there. But so they're going to do whatever PlayStation wants first. And they're, like developers don't like developing out of the norm. Like sometimes they'll do some stuff, like they've done some stuff for the GameCube or whatever, and they really didn't get over on that. So they kind of like stopped that. So like these platform specific things, they're not always the most in tune to them. You know what I mean? Which kind of sucks, but it is what it is. You, as a platform, you got to continue to keep sliding in where you can. I see Stadia doing that. That's cool with Stream Connect and other decent features and cool features. As the platform grows, hopefully more developers will see the benefit of it. But Microsoft had pretty much given up on trying to get people to use System Link after a few years. And they were just worried about getting games that looked the best and trying to get as many multi-plat games as possible, right? And pushing out Halo. That's what Microsoft, the first generation, pretty much was focused on. But someone told us, they said, look, if you think that this System Link thing is so cool, so awesome, then go out there and let people know. Go to the stores and let people know. Start a petition. I think the guy was joking, but what he didn't realize is that me and my brother drank too much. So because we drank too much, we took what he said seriously. We literally went to the local GameStops. There's a place called Record Exchange out here, and we literally it was mostly me. My brother had a little bit more sense. Stalking GameStops in different video game places and getting people to sign petitions to use System Link. And then after doing that, we was like, okay, we forced people and made them feel uncomfortable. We did it with enough people. What do we do now? And that's when MySpace was a big thing. People making their own websites via MySpace. And gaming was big on MySpace. Oh my God. But the gaming community on MySpace was so creative. Like I miss those days. The early 2000s were the stuff when it came to gaming. Just the energy and the camaraderie. And just different, just the high hopes and stuff like that. Like it's different from today. But anyway, we took it to MySpace, and then we just ended up going from a System Link advocate, bunch of drunken System Link advocates, to doing new stuff and for games. And what that allowed us to do was talk to people and understand more broadly how diverse the gaming community is. So since early 2000, I've had an appreciation for that. So if anybody tries to make you think that you're a fool or you're one of the few rarities that is happy with the Stadia platform, just tell them sure. You go look at, I see polls everywhere in the cloud gaming community. So someone will tear Stadia in half. Yeah, Stadia only done this, only done that. And they think Stadia's on the ground. They think Stadia's down and out. And they'll go ask their community or the people that they tweet circle around or whatever. And they'll put a poll out there and they're like, yeah, I'm going to extenuate my point. So I'll put a poll out there, and I'll say, what is the platform that you're using the most? and every time, just about, Stadia is it's like 75 to 5, Stadia is in top 75 and everything. It's like Stadia is always on top. And again, whatever's the best or what's better is always subjective. It's always up to the gamer. But you respect the gamer and respect their choices. I don't slap my son's Chromebook out of his hand because he prefers GFN. No, I just don't play it, and he just doesn't play Stadia. Well, he loves Five Nights at Freddy's, so I haven't been able to play the game because we family share. That's all he plays. You know what I'm saying, on Stadia. But it is what it is. So don't let people let you believe. I mean, we're all small in numbers, period, when you look at the grand scheme of things. But people still love Stadia. Are there people that are disappointed? Yeah. Are there some people that are disappointed more than others? Are there some people that are less disappointed than others? Yes. But overall, as PC World said, it's a great platform, which is a mainstay in cloud gaming. So we want to celebrate that mainstay because we love it too. You know what I'm saying? We want to celebrate that mainstay with you. We want to share that camaraderie that welcomed me in and made me feel so great about being on this platform and representing this platform. We want to continue that and keep that going. You know what I'm saying? We get it. Everybody may not feel that way, and they're entitled to that. But we want to keep it going because we get it. We look at the numbers. Like when I boot up PlayStation, there's just several things that don't jive with there's only a handful of us that are still happy. Do we think it's perfect? No, but we're happy. And a lot of it is because first and foremost, there are a bunch of us that are opposed to playing the news. They just play the games. They're focused on the now. I get it, a lot more hardcore of us. We want to see things 15, 20 years down the line. We want reassurances every day. We want granular shows. But the target demo, for the most part, aren't like that. But there's just a couple of things that knock at that theory. Number one, when you look at things like the UK's top games, that litmus that Jack runs, the NPD litmus, which I got to get back to. Stadia always out of the cloud. They always have the most, or they go back and forth with GFN as far as having the top retail games. That's a great litmus. Those are two great litmuses to see what is it that casuals are playing, because that's Stadia's market is casual gamers. Or that's their main demographic is casual gamers, right? So the games that casual gamers play predominate the sales because there's more casual gamers than there are hardcore gamers. Just are. Casual gamers buy 2 games a year. They have anywhere between 7 to 13 games in their total library each generation. That doesn't come from me. That comes from analysts like Daniel Ahmad, world-renowned analysts that's been studying video games forever, longer than a lot of you have been born. But that's here nor there. It's okay. We're happy that you're born. We're happy that everybody is born and everybody gets a opportunity to try these giveaways. With that being said, another thing too is that another thing that I look at is, again, most of those games that are chart topping, Stadia either has most of them or they're in the top 2 consistently. You know what I'm saying? So it has the games. Doesn't have every single game out there, but casuals don't look at that. It has the games that its core demographic likes to play. Another thing that might sound a little bit trivial that I look at is ever since they got their latest surge, and when they released on the LG TVs, I stopped being a jerk and I started accepting friends requests. Like I had this real nervous thing where I didn't accept friends requests all the time unless I knew who you were, just because I had bad experiences with that in the past, right? But I've been able to, do it in a way that I'm comfortable. So anybody that sends me a friends request, if you notice, now I automatically take you guys in, you know what I mean? And accept your requests. Ever since I've done that, since the LG thing, I want to say that my friends count averages around, on a low day, maybe 30, 20. It's rare. You know, if it's like super early, it's like around mid 20s. But it goes anywhere from normally from 30 to like 60. It's been like that since Stadia had his big bump. So do we want, to see more of the titles that we would like to play on here? Would we like to see more communication? Yes, platform is not perfect, but like we were proving last week, they haven't given up on the retail. We're going to talk a little bit more about that, the whole Mexico expansion thing. And it's okay to like the platform. It's okay to like the platform, and you can like the platform and appreciate what the other ones are doing. Xbox isn't for me as a gamer, but I appreciate that Xbox has the name recognition that can help boost up cloud gaming. Is GFN for me? No, it's not for me, but I appreciate what it does for those that are big on textures and things like that. And who also, want to get in competitive play, or generally PC gamers like my son. GFN has done wonders for people like my son. You know what I'm saying? So I can appreciate what all those do, but my favorite is Stadia. I love it. And it's my favorite way to play. Are there things that I want to see improved? Yeah, we talk about those here. We talk about them in private, whatever. We utilize all of our resources as a sensible consumer. But with that said, generally, like a lot of you, we are pleased. We're enjoying it. And like PC World said, it's an enjoyable platform. It's a mainstay. All right. So let's go celebrate this mainstay enjoyable platform. Let me do this because I am very irresponsible not doing this. Oh, and last but certainly not least, why I'm so excited about today is because we get to give away stuff. we've already started. Oh my God. No, this is actually going to be the third giveaway that we've done on this channel today. Yes, the third giveaway that we've done on this channel today. What am I talking about? Well, here's what's going to happen. In the entire month of July, we are doing something called Giftapalooza. All right. During July, Giftapalooza is where every live show that happens on this channel, we are going to do a raffle. And during that raffle, a lucky subscriber is going to win a gift card of at least $25 USD, or gift credit. I'd rather say gift credit of at least $25 USD. All right. So we just want to say thank you. We've seen so much success at StadiaDosage.com. We want to say also, I personally want to say thank you for some of the inconsistent nature that I've had on this channel. You know what I mean? But we're back. And we just want to take the time to say thank you to everybody. It's been a long road. We've always wanted to make this a community platform, and we're finally here. And we got another show premiering this month. And I've been talking about the show for a couple months, but we've been trying to get some things together. Mainly it's been my fault. But now we got all of our ducks in a row, and we got a show that's premiering this month. I know you guys are going to like it. I know it. So I can't wait to get into that. And we got a couple of other ideas that we're going to work on too. But it's a celebration. It's a celebration, Mitches. All right. Let's shout out this chat, man. Shout out this wonderful, wonderful chat. If I can find the social tab. All right, we got to switch some things around because MM2K done lost his marbles. He acts like that he got the best eyes in the world when he does it. And he keeps forgetting to switch these windows around. So let me do this. All right. Shout out to everybody. Okay, let's do it. We got Nerds World in the house. Excellent. Shout out to you, Nerds World. We got Caliphate 93. Woo! Oh, before I go any further, because I was rambling, as I'm good to do. If you want to participate in these giveaways, all right, like this giveaway, the Giftapalooza giveaway, the main one is the gift credit. You have to be a subscriber. Now, if you notice, I've changed the chat to subscriber only chat because there's no point even playing with your emotions. When it's time to do the raffle and I say, go ahead and hit the certain keyword, I'm not even going to play with your emotions. If you're not a subscriber, you're not going to be able to participate. All right. Now, starting next week, I'm going to open it back up so everybody can ask questions. But this week, if you're not a subscriber, you won't be able to participate in the raffle. And you can't participate in the chat because I don't want to play with anybody's emotions. And this is going to be the first time that we're doing it like this. So I don't want to confuse myself. I don't want to play with my patience. So, all right. So just so everybody's aware. Okay. Victor Del Maestro. Vic, what's going on, good brother? We got Four Scores Gamers. His smooth transition. My good brother, Four Scores Gaming. I'm happy that you're feeling better, man. Happy that you're feeling better, man. Cody Maloney's in the house. Shout out to Cody Maloney. Hey, Cody, this is a great guy. Cody, if you want me to tell him, I can tell him. But I don't want to do that because some people don't like that. But Cody's a great guy. He's another individual who loves the platform. He doesn't mean any ill will to anybody. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't want to suffocate anybody else's like for anything else. Now, if he sees something that doesn't jive with facts or reality, he's going to open up his mouth. But hey, that's what we all do on social media. I don't be mad at y'all because y'all got an opinion. Like Aminar, one of the biggest supporters of this platform. And there's many of you that support this. So I'm not slighting anybody. But I just want to give you guys an understanding of how we operate here. One of the biggest supporters of this platform hates Stadia. Well, no, he says he hates Stadia. He said he loves it, and he loves all of you too. He's everywhere. He's on every damn show, in every chat. But Aminar, that's my homie. I love Aminar. Cold-blooded Sensei gave up. He's like, dude, I'm done hearing about Stadia. But he used to come and harass us in the chat. That's been one of my biggest supporters since I started doing this, man. He helped me in the middle. MM2K was having a meltdown years ago, live on air, and Cold-blooded Sensei digitally went through the screen and slapped me. Pat, pat, pat. MM2K, get it together. Stop acting like this. So, okay. So, we don't care that people have opinions. You can have opinions. It's all right. You know what I mean? It's not war. There's a lot of crazy things happening in this world that are bigger than someone's opinions on games. And I love Stadia, but I'm going to let you know that. So I'm not out to get anybody. I'm not out to peg anyone with the most extremist thing. I mean, if I hear something that's why we turned a new leaf to where, as far as our video content here on this channel, I'm not calling out anybody. I don't respond to a single thing. I know 2021, when things were getting silly and people wanted to act like they wanted to knuckle up with the boy, we were entertaining it. But when I say knuckle up, I mean not actually, but they act like they wanted to battle me on the soapbox. We thought it was fun, but one man's fun is another man's disgrace. So we giving up on that. We address notions. We hear something silly. We don't say, oh, I wonder if so and so said that. No, and most of it, I got most of the sources that a lot of this stuff spews from. I have them muted. I'm enjoying this. That's like if I'm a Game of Thrones fan, they're coming out with a Game of Thrones a sequel. Thought there was going to be a prequel, but there's a sequel. I'm a Game of Thrones. Me and my wife are serious Game of Thrones fan. I don't want to sit here and hear somebody bash Game of Thrones every day. Oh, the last season was this and it was horrible and this and that. Okay, I mean, I may agree with you to an extent, but I'm still a fan. I'm still anxious to see this new sequel. And if you don't want to hear it, you ain't got to hear it. If I don't agree with you, if the grounds that you're bringing up I can't relate to, I'm not entitled to hear you just because you have something to say. So a lot of that I have muted anyway. And what people do is they bring it to you. Oh, I'm in 2K. The biggest thing now is that Stadia da-da-da-da-da-da. I don't sit there and pull out a roll and say, well, who said that? And pull out a Rolodex of things I won't say if somebody commented on. That's absurd. I just addressed the comment. So with that said, I know Cody's like, what the hell does that got to do with me, MM2K? No, with that said, Cody Maloney is a fantastic individual, great guy. Cody, if you want me to let people know, I will. If not, I'll just keep my mouth shut. All right. Angelo's in the house. We got Black Germ of Vindicare, Caliphate. Windstor's in the house. Lo-Fi, what's up, man? What's going on, brother? Dusty Aranda, Postmaster. G Nico 559, good to see you again, my friend. Doing great. You all, there's a party in here. Absolutely, man. Stadia gameplay, androidtv.info. Go. Good to see you, my friend. Say that fast 5 times. No old Milwaukee, man. No old Milwaukee, man. That's the fighting serum. My fighting days are over. People have their opinions and they're allowed to have them. It's okay. And I got to understand that I grew up in Fight Club where me and my brothers, we would debate stuff and, pull each other's chains. And, oh, that was stupid. That's silly. You know what I'm saying? And then laugh it off after. If you guys never seen it, again, it's not for the faint of heart. Show called The Best Damn Podcast, period. It's on Next Gen 720's channel. Broadband Bully. Shout out to my brethren. That's all we did. Every show. Well, it was 4 of us, or 5 of us, I'm sorry. And that's all we did. We would go over the latest topics or the latest tweets, and we would just, give our opinions on them, and we would clown each other on it. And that's all. It was all in fun. So that's my pedigree. It's no thing. Like I tell people, we're going to have a discussion, debate, a civil discussion is nothing to me. But, those old Milwaukee fuel days are over. Those days are done. Because it's gotten a little silly out here. So what we've decided to do, we put our more jagged content behind the members' content. And what we've also said that we're going to do is we're going to focus on people that want to talk, get educated, and celebrate the platform. That's where we put our focus. Primo in the house. What's up? Geek the Sneak. Hey, Geek. There's a new Division 2 global event, bro. It started today. Geek, we got to get on it. Mostly Martinez says, I love mac and cheese. The Shizzles says, so do you believe this expansion will help Stadia get AAA games? That is a great question, the Shizzles. I'm gonna talk about that. A matter of fact, let me do this so I can remember your comment and put it up there. Also, shout out to Squids, who became a member to the platform. He loves it so much that it's like him paying his place of employment. Hey boss, here goes 100 from my check. No, I'm just joking. Shout out. Again, this is all, ain't nobody's, there's no paycheck like that. We appreciate talent. We show talent their appreciation. And beyond that, everything goes back to you guys. You know what I mean? So, weather's hot up here, lo-fi. It's hot as monkey babuskas. Imagine being disappointed about someone not doing what you want them to do. Sounds like a formula for disappointment. Yeah, I've been on podcasts, Primo, where people ask me, why do you like Xbox? Because I like it. Well, they don't have this, that, and the other. I like what they have. I've never been someone that had to follow a wave to get validation of my choices. I like what I like, and if you don't like it, so what? We can argue all day. Fine with me. I'm someone who has been in debate atmospheres my entire life, but especially as a manager of managers. You know what I'm saying? That's Argumentville. Everybody thinks they're the smartest in the room. So when you hear everyone that thinks they're the smartest in the room go back and forth and, tell each other how it is, and then you gotta calm it down or interject when necessary. I've been in argumentative situations pretty much my entire life. So I'm not worried about people having an opinion, but when you literally hunt someone down or go to ridicule them because of what they like, yeah, that's pathetic. I'm talking about in the realms of video games. If somebody likes bullying people alive, that's something different. I'm talking about something as trivial as video games, but you got to hunt somebody down. You like that? Oh, to me, that's crazy. He said, laugh out loud, rogue book content. Yeah, man, I need to get some of that rogue book on, man. It looks like something that's right up my alley. I can't front last week because trying to get the foundation set for some things. I have not played a lot of games, just some Madden. Whenever I can't play games, because I like to be able to sit and play. Like if it's a game where I really want to get into it, I want to sit and have a few hours. I don't get that all the time. So to scratch my gamer itch 3 or 4 times a day, I might whip off some Madden, kick some ass there, and then go about my business. You know what I'm saying? So besides Madden, I really haven't played much of anything. I played a little bit of Outriders last week. My kids did finally come through, y'all, and they gave me my gift card. Yes, I don't have to go and start whooping ass. Whooping grown-up ass. I ain't got to do that. They gave me my gift card, so now I can buy World Slayer. But besides that, yeah, I haven't done. I've been frauding. I haven't done much gaming because you guys didn't see me doing these streams. With that being said, that's going to be different this week. We did a stream earlier today, so you can go check it out on Twitch after this. I did a Division 2 stream for about an hour. Checked out that new global event. Perfectimo. That's some good stuff, man. Yeah, I'm gonna be playing that all week. Let's see here. Mostly Martinez says SD hype. Oh, we got Rue Diggs. He says, hey, hope everyone's doing well. Hope you're doing well, my good friend. He says, I'm in the building and I got my eyes on MM. Oh, hey, look, man. You're married. I'm married. Let's not do this live on TV. No, I'm just joking with you. Shout out to Cowboy in the house. How you liking your PlayStation 5, man? See, doesn't it feel good, Cowboy, to be free? See, this is what people don't get about me, or the zealots that they try to make us out to be. I got my PlayStation 5 launch day. I even leapfrog. I'm nefarious, and every time I mention it, I gotta apologize to Storm because I did him dirty. I got my 30, but I think he came out on top because of this. My 3070 card, I got it like, how long? I don't know if Storm's in here. Storm, if you hear this, how long was the 3070s out when this came out? Like a month at the most? But he told me about something on Newegg. He's like, yeah, man, I was eyeballing this thing on Newegg. I was like, for real? What is it? He made the mistake of telling me what it was, sent me the link. I said, oh, so we're talking. I never told the story live because it is shameful. I shouldn't have done this. But it worked out in the long run. My sleaziness worked out in the long run for Storm. So he tells me this. And this is right after we did the commission. It's me, him, and Bunny. We're chopping it up like we normally do after the show. And me, Bunny, Storm, and shout out to the homegirl Tronny. So we're chopping it up after the show, and Storm like, yeah, man. You know how Storm be, yeah, man. I got that. I found me a video card. He's like, you suckers ain't gonna have. I'm getting the top-notch graphics. So what did you look? He's like, but I'm thinking, man. He's like, I'm thinking. Do I want that 3070, or am I gonna spring out and get this 3080? Storm will buy all of Saudi Arabia just to buy a building in it that has all of the graphic cards, and then he'll sell Saudi Arabia later. That's how my homie roll. He about his gaming. So he's like, man, and he's like, but what I could do is I could use the 3070 for leverage. So he's planning this out. He's thinking it out, right? And the way he's talking after he sent me the link, I'm thinking he's not going to buy it. So I said, man, I ain't got time. Look, we ain't got time to hear Storm playing this out, man. I'm getting this card, right? Because by the time he come up with his master plan, he's going to say he ain't going to want the card, and then it's going to be gone. Ain't nobody going to get it. So while they're talking, I literally bought the card. That was horrible, yo. Storm was hot. He was like, but he kept his composure. Storm was like, you bought the card? I was like, bro, I didn't think that you wanted it. He's like, all right, Moss, I got you. So he owed me for that one. I can't front. But what ended up happening, I think it's a week later, he ended up getting a good deal on the 3080. And he was like, yeah, if I would have got that 3070, that would have kind of hamstrung me for getting the 3080. So he's like, you can have that trash. You know what I'm saying? But I did the homie Storm dirty, man. Yeah. But again, the reason why I brought that up is because I'm a gamer, man. I'm a gamer. Even though I prefer playing on Stadia, that's where I do most of there are games that I want to play elsewhere. And if I really want to play them that bad, I'm going to play them elsewhere. Now, if I want to wait, I want to wait. And that's my prerogative. You know, like I'm waiting for Dying Light too. I'm comfortable it's coming. I'm waiting for it. But there are some games that I'm not going to wait for. So I got other platforms. I get what Stadia is and what it isn't. It's not a mainstream platform. I know there were these talks about this and that, and a lot of that we filled in the gaps with our own conjecture and our own belief. But even if Stadia was operating the way that they said they was going to operate, we'd still be complaining because they weren't trying to get every game. They told you that in the beginning. And so, like, really, it boils down to the love-hate affair that we have for Stadia really boils down to 3 games. Even with Stadia not operating on all 4 cylinders, it really boils down to 3 games. Maybe 4, but it boils down to 3 games right now. Elden Ring, Dying Light, and Guardians of the Galaxy. Now you might be able to throw in Evil Dead or throw in what's that, Mass Effect collection or whatever. But that's what it boils down to. So that's why I'm not jumping out my shoes and socks. Because even if Stadia got all those games, I'd still be playing Division 2. None of those games speak to me, except for Dying Light. I'm sorry, I'm lying. I would play Dying Light, you know, but that's it. But it's not the end of the world to me for one game. So, but if it is something that I want to play, I knew what it was from the beginning. When fellow content creators and everybody else was like, yo, so it's like, Moss, what you getting a PlayStation 5 for? You MM2K, you Mr. Stadia, what you spend 95, because I'm a gamer. And I can see past the first 5 minutes of now. And even though Stadia is killing it at the end of 2020, they ain't gonna have everything that I want to play. I'm not gonna live in that fantasy land. It ain't just about God of War, whatever. There's just gonna be some one-off multi-plat games that I'm gonna want to play, and I'm locking down my PlayStation 5 now. Oh no, man, don't do that. No, man, I'm just sticking with Stadia. Cowboy, don't it feel good to be free now? I was telling y'all back in 2020 that you gotta be free. I was telling y'all back then, and I still rep Stadia like a champ. It's still the main way that I play, but I ain't gotta worry about nothing. Any game that I want, I got access to it. Period. So I'm a gamer at the beginning. I'm a gamer first, but I love Stadia is my main way to play. So I see you enjoying that PlayStation 5, and ain't nothing wrong with it, man. I tried to tell y'all years ago. Now y'all get it. So what else do we need to do? So Geek, in regards to that, what's it called? To that, what do you call that? To the I'm gonna rap to you, Geek. It's different, but I like it. I like it better than the other global events. It's real slick. It's real slick in what they do. All right, y'all, let's get to some news. Let's talk about the main topic, because the Shizzles has a great topic up there. We already went, oh, holy cow, we went 44 minutes. Here, this is what I want y'all to do. I'm gonna activate this giveaway. I'm gonna start. Hold on. Let me go and edit it. Okay, I got duration 2 hours. We ain't gonna be here for 2 hours, that's for sure. Start giveaway, and the giveaway has been started. So what you're gonna want to do is in the chat, it should mention a giveaway. There it goes. You gotta hit exclamation point and raffle in order to participate. Now, at any given moment, I'm going to call this raffle, meaning you got to deal with me for the whole show, but it ain't gonna be too long. If you're not here, we go to the next person. So go ahead and get your raffles in right now. Go ahead and get your exclamation point and your raffles in right now. Simpletons and got Z's. Go hit your exclamation point and hit raffles. Go to do it right now. That'll make you eligible. So, and again, you have to be a subscriber. So if you're not a subscriber, it's not going to pick you as a winner. So even if you're in here and you snuck some way in here. Yeah. My brother put up a good point right here. My brother Storm isn't here. He said, "You, hey Storm, I didn't mean it, bro. I didn't mean to." But he was like, Storm was coming up with his master plan, what he's gonna do. I'm like, Storm ain't gonna get this card, man. I'm gonna get it, and I got it. And Storm was like, "All right, Moss, now I'm gonna go get this card." I'm like, oh snap, he really gonna get it. Storm was hot too, man. He kept his composure though. He was like, you really got that card?" I can only laugh about it now. See, I couldn't even bring it up back then because it was I didn't mean to, but then I wasn't thinking. No, that wasn't cool. That wasn't cool, brother. So you owed me one. I know you got one in the chamber for your boy. I could dig it. But that's what he said. He ended up getting blessed with a 3080. Now, and I was jealous. He was like, "Ha, you can keep that trash. I got me I was like, "You got a 3080?" He's like, "Yeah." I'm like, "God." And see, here's the thing. And it came back on me. 3070 is a great card, but you really need a 3080 because the 3080 got that VRAM. Like, for instance, I be running into all types of problems with Far Cry 6. You know what I'm saying? To where I can't even play with the HD textures anymore. But Storm can. Now I can try to overclock the VRAM. You know, it's the virtual RAM that allows you to, play the game at 60 frames per second with certain textures. With the 3070, you can't do it. They done bloated that game so much, but Storm can play it. That's why y'all don't see no more gameplay from me on Far Cry 6. I was popping them babies out every week. You don't see it no more because I can't even play with the HD textures anymore. You know what I mean? So ain't that how karma works? But he's like, "Yeah, I got the 3080s, and you can keep that trash." So the 3070, it ain't trash, but it's not fail safe. Like, and even with what's that Storm DSR or whatever the hell that is, like AMD's version of You know what I mean? Even when I try to implement that, I still can't do it with the HD textures. It still don't work. It's something with the 3070, but Storm can do it because he got the 3080. So if you want something that's like future proof and you're going to get a 30 series card and you got the dough for it, just go get the 3080. Just go get it. I mean, you can get a 3070. You'll get a lot of use out of it. I love my 3070, but it's just, it ain't future proof. Like the 3080 is future proof for them bloated games. Like Far Cry 6 ain't well optimized, man. They threw a whole bunch of hog moss and spam in that mug, poured some orange juice on top. That thing is poorly, man. I love Ubisoft, but they known for some poorly optimized games. Golly, trim the sides, man. Hook that cut up a little bit, trim the sides. Jesus Christ. But if you want to be future proof for those poorly optimized games with the DSR or whatever, I forgot, and I've forgotten the Nvidia's version of that. Storm knows. Get that 3080, man. Get that 3080. He says, I honestly don't play my PlayStation 5 that much. I still play Stadia more, but I got it. Exactly. That's the same here, bro. I can't, I haven't turned it on this year except for Deathloop. That's the only game I play on it, but I got it. And really the consoles, really none of these platforms have like leaped as far as like those blow games. I think 2023 is going to be different. And, you know, I'm optimistic about Stadia changing things around with the low change porting, but I'm a gamer. I'm not just, I'm not going to wish on a star. I still, you know, I'm going to have access to the games that I want to play. But I've been saying this, but Cowboy, I've been saying this consistently since 2020. And a lot of the people that were looking at me then and was like, nah, man. Like, shout out, the Storm plays everything. Storm is never going to be swayed away from where he wants to play. And that's the way it should be. So Storm plays everything. And I was at a crossroads because I really like Stadia, but I knew that regardless, but even before SG&E, I knew they weren't going to have everything early on. And if there was something dope that I wanted access to, I mean, it's a new platform. I see, I'm already experienced with this because I've dealt with this with the Xbox and trying to pimp out the system link to other developers, not knowing what the hell I was doing or saying. So I already know how the game operates. It's a new platform. Even if it was the best selling cloud platform out there, it's still going to have its challenges, and it was a high possibility that it wasn't going to have all the games that I want to play. I knew this when I was in 2020 talking about, yo, yeah, I'm getting me a PlayStation 5. Nah, I'm not going to get an Xbox, but I'm going to get a PlayStation 5. What? Oh, no, you crazy, man. You crazy, man. That's Stadia, man. No, like. So, if you're a gamer, you game. That's it. Just understand what these platforms are. All of them have holes and gaps where they're missing something. And I didn't moan and complain that I didn't sit there and say, oh man, why don't GFN got this? Or, oh man, why don't xCloud do this? I didn't do that. I just said, I'm gonna give me a PlayStation 5 and moved on. Gaming is about joy. So I just said, well, to maintain my joy, instead of me running around here with pitchforks, I'm gonna just give me a PlayStation 5. I've been talking that since 2020, man. He said, I had it in my car too. Oh, did you, Storm? I don't remember that. It's so hot in here. I've been picking 4-year-old all over the city. Oh yeah, man. It's hot everywhere, man. Have something that you don't have to look at while you work without having to look at the screen is really great. That's awesome. I was thinking the game it boils down to was Call of Duty, Elden Ring, and Fortnite. You're the only person who cares about Dying Light 2. No, I wouldn't say that, because Dying Light 2 didn't do it. It ain't sell the house out, but it did 5 million in its first month, I think, right? Did it do 5 million in its first month? So a lot of people, but Cowboy, you are right to an extent. It's not the game that people are falling out of their shoes and socks for. So you're right to that extent. And that's why I'm willing to wait for it. So, all right, let's get to some of these gaming topics, y'all. All right. This is StadiaDosage.com, man. Shout out to my brethren there. There's a bunch of stuff going on. First and foremost, there's Content City Vote Pack for Xenoverse 2 releasing this week. We're going to talk about that tomorrow. Also, Stadia is a major driver of Vulkan adaptation. We're going to talk about that in a little bit. But what I really wanted to get into was Stadia in Mexico and Samsung, Game Hub, and all other stuff. So I want to throw back up here. Do you believe this expansion will help Stadia get AAA games from the shizzles? The shizzles, I think it's a culmination of a bunch of stuff. I don't think that the expansion alone is going to do it. I know that, I get the point of having more gamers will allow you, or having access to more gamers will allow you to be more alluring to big developers to even put their games on your platform. I agree with that. And I think that also was part of GFN's success, not only them having an easier porting process, but why. Honestly, at the beginning of this year, as far as the titles that they were able to add to their platform, they did a great job. I think that's part of it, because it's like, the argument is just simply, hey, look, it's not going to cost you a thing, baby. Just let us flip the switch, make your game accessible through our conduit service. What's the worst that's going to happen? You going to get some more sales? And when you think about it, but like, damn, yeah, when you think about it, that's not opposed to, hey, look, man, we got this revolutionary cloud gaming with this great tech. You know what I'm saying? You're going to want to develop for this. Hey, we'll give you some money up front. We're going to reach 1 million. We're going to reach 1 million active subscribers. No, you ain't. I wish I'd knew that was the plan from the beginning, because I'd have been like, no, you ain't. And I love the platform. I love it. But as a data analyst myself, and knowing the gaming culture, cloud gaming is purely a 1% business. And it's until they come up with, cloud gaming would have to come up with a game, right, that people say is like, oh my God, this is 20 out of 10. They would have to say, this is 20 out of 10. You gotta play this. It's worth, setting up cloud gaming and going through the different stuff to set it up, right? Which really ain't that much, but you know how they overpurport things. This is a 20 out of a 10 game, and then gamers would have to pick it up and play it and be like, oh, this plays as nice as my console. Until we get to that moment, we're going to see bumps here and there from different platforms. Like, I'll give, xCloud is my least favorite one, but I'm going to give them kudos. I'm going to give them their flowers on Fortnite. That's huge. That's huge for them. That's going to add not only exposure to the platform and give them the data. See, the Xbox's problem was, from all the data that you extrapolate and you look together prior to xCloud getting Fortnite, you really didn't get a bunch of gamers that dedicated themselves to cloud gaming on the platform like they would a Stadia or GFN or even a Luna. So that AI and that machine learning is critical to xCloud. Those user cases, every time someone's logging in and they record data and they get the survey information and all, that stuff is critical in the early years. And I would argue that xCloud was probably not getting that more consistently than anybody. I even think Amazon for a while was getting more than them. But then they put that Fortnite on there. And that Fortnite ain't no joke. And I think that's changing it. So now they're getting a lot of useful player data. When I played it on there, granted I played it wired, but it felt good. I played it wired on my browser. It felt good. It wasn't as good as it would have been on GFN. No, but it felt good enough. I almost won. Now, granted, I don't know if I was playing against bots or what. But whatever they did, it was clever. If I was playing against bots, that's clever to set it up that way. But I almost won. I was of the last 3 people. And that was my first time playing Fortnite ever. And it wasn't the non-build version. It was the version where you could build a skyscraper in 0.3 seconds. So I had to deal with all that janky crap. And I almost won a game. So that's huge for Xbox. Not only is it huge because they're going to get the AI machine learning data, but it's huge because now all those people that used to go to Apple and play Fortnite through Apple and get the DLC, and Apple got a cut of that. That's all going to Xbox. See, and that's why they were willing to put it on the beta portion to make sure that it was free. That was smart. Because now, even though it's free to access it, it's a free to play game, but people are going to buy DLC. Those people that played mainly on their Apple device, now when they buy DLC, guess what? It's being split between Fortnite and Xbox instead of Fortnite and Apple now. Ingenious move. But until cloud gaming comes out with that stellar title that feels great that you can't get anywhere else, or no, I don't want to say until. That's the wrong word. Well, unless, that's the word I want to use. Unless they get a title like that, they're not leapfrogging projections. We got to get over that. Kind of like what Clive was saying, my spiritual advisor. Get over the belief. Y'all can keep torturing yourselves all you want. Get over the belief that all it's going to take is it being released on this TV. Then they going to touch it and it's going to hit them like a pound of doo-doo, splat. It's not going to happen. The projections are the projections because they are the projections. We got years out until somebody comes out with that. And here's the thing. As much as xCloud is working on their game, and their game is years out. By that time, cloud gaming is going to be a circle. This is Kojima that we're talking about. That game is years out. And by the time his game comes out, cloud gaming will be at that point anyway for everybody. So that's not going to be the game that leaps to projections. That's going to be the game that is going to start fitting in with the norm of cloud gaming seeing success, right? Depending upon what it is. The game is not coming from GFN because GFN doesn't have exclusives. Well, I even doubt, as much as I love Stadia, I'm not taking out of the realm of possibility that Stadia in the future is not going to look towards second party exclusives. There's nothing wrong with that. Second party exclusives is what made Xbox a household name. Because before, it wasn't necessarily Xbox that was a household name. With the OG Xbox, it was Halo that was a household name. And then there was everything else that was on the platform. It was second party exclusives, Mass Effect, BioShock, and other attempts. And those, actually for the first time ever, giving Xbox more games than PlayStation that generation. and right before the next consoles came out. But by the time the Xbox One and the PlayStation 4 came out, Xbox had more games than PlayStation. First time that happened, because all the little second party deals and stuff they were working on. So that, I don't doubt that Stadia is going to get to that point, but I don't think that that's going to be anytime soon where they're going to work on exclusive content. I think what they're really trying to nail down is allowing you to play your favorite games, your big ticket games. And the reason why I use the term big ticket is because I don't mean just AAAs. I mean indies, big indies like Valheim, and I don't know if you would call Rogue Country or whatever. I don't know if you would call that AAA, but the games that get all the buzz. They're working on getting those games on the platform and getting them to work smooth. So there were ways out. All the other services, except for Amazon and conduit services. Now, granted, Amazon could come out, could do something. They've had 2 successful games under their stint. I don't know. It could be them. That's why I say we have our favorites. A lot of us feel Stadia's, still number one because when you add everything together, it's the best experience. Some people feel it's other platforms, right? But when it comes to who offers what, in totality, you're going to have all of these platforms leapfrog each other in certain aspects. Amazon might be the first company to come out with that fire game. That's why I'm grandfathered into my plan. Because they have a studio. They're the only ones that kind of have a studio that would be enticed to drop a cloud exclusive game out there that could do it now. If they wanted to, but the money's not there to do it. That's why it's too much of a risk. And that's another reason why you're not going to see anybody do it in these early years. It's too much of a risk. Microsoft themselves, see, they're spending money. People are like, well, Microsoft is they're spending money on proven entities. Activision, yeah, that's a lot of money, but they're gonna get a lot of they're gonna get a lot on that. Bethesda, they're going to get a lot on that. So those are proven entities that have already shown to bring in money. Amazon's new to the game. They're 2 out of 4? Or 2 for 5? Because they had 3 other games that flopped, and a couple other games, and one that they canceled. Their stuff isn't proven yet, so they're not going to take that risk and make a cloud exclusive game early on. Nobody is early on. Are they going to work on them? Sure. So I think we need to stop overleaping these projections that Stadia is going to, or not overleaping these projections, not just Stadia, that cloud gaming next year is going to revolute. No, y'all got to get out here and talk to some average gamers. Y'all are too much in a bubble. I am telling you. The average gamer don't want nothing to do with cloud gaming right now. Just like 7 years ago, the average gamer didn't want anything to do with DRM. But now they lapping it up. They love it. They love it now. PlayStation 5 digital, they love it. That's what I got, a digital. It takes time. So nothing's going to overleap those projections until unless you get that scenario, unless you get that game that's 20 out of 10. Now, if Elden Ring, like for instance, if you got a game like Elden Ring that everybody's going crazy over, and they're like, this is exclusive to the cloud. You got to play it. It feels like a native platform. When you play it, this is great. You got to play it. That could be something. And then you got to have games after that continue to whet the appetite after that. When that happens, unless something like that happens, you're not seeing a jolt. Or you're not seeing the projections being leapfrogged. So we got to get over that. It just is what it is. I've been saying that for a while too. Regardless of my affinity for Stadia. Lukey 6 in the house. Good to see you. He said, that's some real stuff you just say next time. Oh, no, I already read that. FSR. That's right. That's what it is, Storm. Oh, snap. No, I already put in some Cobalt. I put some Cobalt code in there. No, you're banned. So let me do this because we're running out of time. I'm about to pick a winner. To answer your question, I think it's going to be more than an expansion. I think expansion will help, but they got to get a smooth reporting process. I think what Stadia realized is that, well, no, not what they realized, but they kind of had like a lofty plan. And I wish I would have knew. I mean, not that I would have been able to change anything, but I mean, again, it wouldn't have changed anything as far as me liking the platform, or not like I had to say, but I think a lot more of us understood what that plan was at the beginning, I think a lot of us would have been able to convince them to pivot sooner. And that way porting could have been worked on sooner. There was no way they were getting 1 million. No way. Just the marketing wasn't there. The word of mouth wasn't there. The ground roots activity wasn't there. And then when they were falling short, they were doing things like the Mortal Kombat 11 giveaways. It just wasn't there. It just wasn't. It didn't. I remember. Content creators were mad because they didn't get it. Now we understand why they were doing that, but that wasn't even rolled out right. Just like the push, the lift to try to rectify this just wasn't there. And that's because in order for you, you would have had to do something like extremely radical, like the disregard for cloud gaming from the average gamer is something serious. We're a peculiar few. Doesn't mean that we're wrong. It's just that we could see past the first 5 minutes of now. Everybody doesn't think like us. So in order for you to reach 1 million, you would have had to do something extreme. And you would have had to do it for a while. And maybe getting that 1 million would have helped lower the cost of getting ports, and then you could have operated, under the norm. But I could have told you that. So I think once they realized, because getting 1 million, I think was critical, and the dominoes that preceded. Once they weren't going to get that 1 million, nowhere near it, and keep it consistently. Like they got, a bump because of Cyberpunk, but that was because of Cyberpunk. What did you have the follow-up that was as big as Cyberpunk? Nothing. And then you got that bump because of Cyberpunk because it was the biggest game, it was the biggest game talked about the last, 5 years. And for most of the gamers that I would argue probably bought it because of PlayStation 4s and Xbox Ones, it was the only feasible place for them to play it unless they got a PC or if they found a PlayStation 5 or an Xbox Series. And even knowing that, didn't totally change the guard. It didn't, 6 million copies of Cyberpunk were sold. I think a decent amount for a cloud platform was sold on Stadia, but it wasn't. They even at that, the biggest game in the past 5 years, Cyberpunk. Everybody and their grandmother told you. The homie from Twit Network, I didn't know he had bought it on Stadia. Everybody, my brother, I told you, my brother showed me where he bought 3 of them. 3 Stadia Premier bundles. That still wasn't enough to change the tide to even get the purchases there on the level of consoles, let alone be consistent. Think about that. This is where I say I don't think people understand the ire towards cloud game. Y'all don't, I be in these DMs. I wish I could share them with y'all, but I can't. I'm not lying to you. And I think I've proven that over the years of just following the facts, saying, I think this is what this means. I don't think this is what this means. But by me doing that, and then by us being right, I'm not even going to say right more than we were wrong, just being right. Because I don't know where we were wrong. I'm human. It's going to happen. If I divert from the facts, or somebody just throws a crazy monkey wrench in there that nobody saw coming. But I have no reason to lie to y'all about video games. It doesn't do anything for me. I am telling you, the ire for cloud, it's like, and it doesn't make sense, but it's just there. Like when you can talk to somebody about Xbox, you can talk to somebody about PlayStation that doesn't like those, like I can talk to a PlayStation person about Xbox and they'll, say some slick stuff or get all riled up or whatever. You know what I mean? From a clowning standpoint. And sometimes, you have that entity here and there that'll get too overzealous in clowning the other platform. It's console war. I didn't buy that, so I'm just going to shoot it down. But when it comes to cloud gaming, it's just different. It tastes different. Like when you talk about cloud gaming to people that don't believe in it, the air just tastes, it looks like Stranger Things. Where, with the reverse world or whatever, the sky turns crimson red, the smoke spider comes into the scene. I'm telling you, I have no reason to lie to you. Of your favorite content creators, rub elbows with them. The ire, the disdain for cloud gaming is serious. And I think the proof is in the pudding. You have Cyberpunk, the biggest game in the past 5 years. Everybody had to touch it. And then it goes to Xbox One and PlayStation 4 and it's horrible there. So you would think the thing is, if I'm giving you a free premiere thing to play this game, because don't give me that crap about, it's because everybody didn't have internet. Fortnite requires internet. People are playing it all. It's the biggest game in the world, just about. Or for consoles at least, or plug and play gamers. So don't give me that crap about internet. Even though everybody and their grandmother was telling you that Stadia was the best way to play Cyberpunk, and Stadia was giving you a way to play on your TV for free. They were giving you a premiere bundle for free just for buying the game. And you still didn't see levels of Cyberpunk purchases on the same realm of consoles. The biggest game in the past 5 years. What does that tell you? And people may say, well, it's not the biggest game because, there's games that sold more. Yes, but look at the 18 million that it sold despite it still being buggy. The 13 million within the launch months. Who sells 13 million games when the majority of the people that are purchasing it off of PCs, that is, don't have a fathomable version? And we're across the board, it's riddled with bugs. Even though it looked nice and played better on PC, doesn't mean that it still wasn't riddled with bugs on PC. Who has a game as bug riddled as Cyberpunk and still sells 13 million? That game was huge and still sold 13 million. And you still, so again, I'm not saying that to down cloud gaming's capabilities. Cloud gaming is very capable. You look at each platform is capable on many levels. What I'm saying to you, and this plays a big part of it, especially in the current market, and why analyst projections are the way that they are, and they're years out, or a decade out at least. The psychology behind it. Nobody's leapfrogging those projections unless they do the things that we said. All right. Now I got way off a topic and we got to wrap this up soon. But here's what I will say. Again, put the question back up here. Do you believe this expansion will help Stadia get AAA games? It's going to be a culmination, the shizzle. It's going to be a combination of AAA porting and expansion, because GFN already shows you that when you can go to game developers and say, just let us flip the switch. Just let us flip the switch. Make your game accessible. What's the worst that's going to happen? You're going to get more sales. Is that a bad thing? It may not be a whole bunch, but you're going to get more sales. You're going to expose your game to more people. Just flip. When you can make that proposal, you have situations like GFN did at the beginning of this year, as far as the games that it can get on this catalog. You know what I mean? As far as getting blockbuster games. So I think that this expansion in Mexico will help. Sunny Cloud Gaming is saying, he said in Mexico, consoles aren't as accessible price-wise and just in numbers as they are in the States. So you may have a lot of people that may want to play Resident Evil Village or whatever, but just can't. This allows them to be able to play it. And I know, because I'm familiar with the Trinidad market, it wasn't that the people didn't have the money to buy it at our cost. It's just that because it's going over a boat, the costs were just ridiculous. Like a game in Trinidad, I want to say, what was that? That was like 15 years ago. A game in Trinidad was like $120 when it was like $50 in the States. It was USD equivalent $120 when it was $50 in the States. That's crazy. So, all right. We don't have much time, so I got to get out of here. But we're going to do this raffle. Are y'all ready? Thomas Collins says, a lot of content creators are cheaters. You can't cheat on the cloud. Well, I don't know if it's about that. That's a good point. The issue with cloud gaming versus physical. And then that too, like right now, no, you bring up a great point, Thomas. There's not a lot of options. Well, cheating is one, and cloud gaming doesn't allow for modding and stuff like that right now. When it does, that'll be another thing that helps it. Yeah, there's a lot of psychology, and I'm not saying the psychology is right. It's wrong in a lot of cases, but it's there, and we can't ignore it. Has Stadia grown since its launch? The year feels very lackluster for Stadia. What do you mean? So I don't know what you mean. How do you mean grown? Like, I don't know what nobody knows what the total active users are. What I can tell you, I had the numbers in front of me. Stadia around, this could be I'm lowballing it. And no. It's anywhere from 1,000. We've seen in its life cycle so far that Stadia's had anywhere between 1,000 to over 6,000 new engagements a day. Now that's not a lot when you compare it to a console, but the question is not only of those engagements, but how many people are they retaining? Or are they just swapping out old people for new people 1v1? I don't know. But so far, they're not knocking it out of the park and making the biggest stake right now to get a swath of new people in. But again, you got a lot of gamers. We got to remember, the average gamer buys 2 games a year. They have anywhere between 7 to 13 games in their catalog during a generation. So that's the average gamer. So that means there's a lot of gamers that just aren't worried about playing a whole bunch of games. So even in a slow period like us, for us that play more games, yeah, it's driving us crazy. Our hair's falling out. But for the core demographic, as long as they have the games that people want to play, look at MPD, look at the UK charts. They have the games that those 2 gamers a year, 7 to 13 for a generation, people want to play. So that's where their growth could be attributed to. As far as what are the sustained monthly active user numbers, I don't know. That I don't know. I'm not going to lie and make it up. I'm not going to make it sound good, I just don't know. But we'll see. I think the biggest thing is just worrying about the content that they get. Master! All right, everybody. I'm going to give y'all one more minute because I got to go. I'm going to give y'all one more minute to do exclamation raffle right now if you haven't done it. And I'm going to draw a winner. Also, what I'm going to do is I am going to show you guys another article. Oh, let's go back home because I gotta get do something with the wife. I think this was a cool article by Jack. Damn, they got another article up here. Golly, these dudes don't stop. Okay, another article. All right, won't stop. Don't stop. All right. Great article by Jack DeSlip, the technical nerd that he is. Oh man. He talks about Vulkan and Stadia being a major driver of Vulkan adoption. And for those of you that don't know, anything that's related to like Linux, Vulkan and all that stuff, this dude is a guru in. And it starts it off. I mean, I'm going to read you parts of it so you can understand what's in the article, but I urge everybody to read it. I'm on their own. Vulkan now on its 1.3 release represents a hugely important innovation for gaming. It is a performant, open, and cross-platform graphics standard that can, in principle, run anywhere and everywhere. Unlike Microsoft DirectX and Apple's Metal Graphics APIs, which attempt to lock games and their specific endpoints, Vulkan, like OpenGL before it, is managed by the Kronos Group with an open standards body that any organization is welcome to join. He goes on to say that importantly he says the other way that Vulkan can be used to bring games and supported platform is by including Vulkan support directly in the game engines. This is becoming more and more common. The 2 most popular game engines, Unity and Unreal, already have Vulkan support. He continues on to say, importantly, for everyone, Stadia has been helping drive Vulkan adoption. Now check this out. If you look at the list of games that use Vulkan natively, as presented by the Vulkan team itself, 270 of the 407 listed games run on Stadia. That is significantly more than half, though it is a little unclear how complete this list is. The entire gaming industry is better off because of Stadia and their partners paving the way here. And when you see like Vulkan notes and stuff like that, they seem to always include somebody from Stadia talking about it. So yeah, there's a very close relationship there between the people behind Vulkan and Stadia. And that's just amazing stuff to see. I would like to see, I'm glad we posted it. But I'd like to see Stadia like put a little bit more dev stuff like this out here to help better educate the masses as well. Check out that article. It's on StadiaDosage.com, and it is again titled "Stadia is a Major Driver of Vulkan Adaptation." All right, I've babbled long enough. We are now going to pick a winner for at least $25 and Google gift credit. Let's pick a winner. And it's a shame because there's 35 of y'all watching, but only 33 people registered. So that's cool. Let's close the entries. The entries are like closed. Sorry. And we're going to pick le winner. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. The winner is Mostly Martinez. All right, congratulations, Mostly Martinez. You have won a gift credit of at least $25. Mostly, I think, yeah, if you're following me on Twitter, send me a DM on Twitter with your contact info, like just mainly your email, just an email, and we'll get it over to the gift the gift facilitation board, and we'll get you your credit. All right. But shout out to Mostly Martinez, our winner of the gift card or the first gift credit. This isn't it, folks. We have more live content coming. Of course, every day that you watch Squid and Chill Times with Squid, you are also eligible. Also, we're running the show again tomorrow. It's called SSC Podcast with me, your boy, and other people. We're going to go over the topics that I couldn't go over today. And because I was babbling, I was in my bag today, and I had to apologize to Storm for the rotten, low down, dirty, rotten, stinking rotten thing that I had to admit. I have sinned. Who was that? Jimmy and Tammy Faye Baker? Is that who it was? I have sinned. I had to come in front of the congregation and let them know I did. I did my bro dirty. He even reminded me too. But I'm gonna sit there and act like I'm oblivious to that one. I don't remember that. I don't remember that, Chief. He said he already had it this car. Oh man, I did him super dirty. Golly, I threw him in the mud pit. I don't remember that. I'm playing stupid on that one. But now we're going to be doing this again tomorrow, and you can catch us every Tuesday, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time here for open mics. Mondays, I think it's going to be around 2 p.m. on Mondays. We do a show called Sound Off. It's not for the faint of heart. Yes, it's Sailor Mouth MM2K. Sailor Mouth MM2K goes off on the latest and greatest in gaming news, particularly with Stadia. Wednesdays, we do SSC Podcasts. Thursdays, we're going to be doing some streams and stuff. We're even going to be on Twitch. I'm going to put a schedule out soon. Fridays for our members is when we record weekly checkup with me and Daryl Schmock. Y'all get an extended version if you're a member. And if you do, if you're not a member, you get the public version on Sundays. So congratulations to all of our winners today. We had 3 big winners. We had Christopher Torres had won Squid's raffle earlier. Alex Billy won our plug and play bundle for our members. We did a members giveaway before we went live here. That's why we were running a little bit late. And last but not least, the first winner that I've been able to award something to is Mostly Martinez. Just get us your contact information. We will get you your credit, my friend. All right. With that said, I love all of y'all. Enjoy where you game, and if you're a Stadia gamer, ain't nothing wrong with it, baby.